So there's an online business model that I consider to be the best way to make money online and build passive income, even as a complete beginner. Barely any other YouTube gurus that talks about side hustles and making money online mentions this. I started this exact business when I was broke, and over the years I've made over $1.7 million from actually doing this, making me a self-made millionaire at age 26. So before I tell you exactly what this business model is, let me tell you why I believe this is the best way for anyone to build passive income online. I don't want this video to be, just another BS, make $1 billion filling out surveys kind of fluff. So I'm going to try and break down everything logically and explain to you why I believe this is the best business model for beginners and why I still build this business myself. So when it comes to building a business online, building passive income should be the goal for everyone because this allows you to make money while you sleep. And by being able to do so, it gives you freedom. But here's the thing, I'm not talking about just financial freedom. Financial freedom is actually just one part of the equation. Yes, when you're broke, you should be taking every opportunity that comes to you, right? You don't care about how you make money, you just want to make more money. But as you start making more money, you'll quickly realize that just making more money does not make you happy. This is why many doctors, lawyers, corporate executives, those who make 6 figures a year, but they work a crap ton of hours are often miserable because they're in this rat race, basically a pointless pursuit. While rats pursue cheese, humans pursue financial and competitive gains. But after a certain level, more money does not increase happiness, especially if you're sacrificing your time freedom. So this is exactly why I say financial freedom is just one part of the equation, because what you should actually go after is complete freedom, okay? This is what I call the freedom trifecta, and this is financial freedom, location freedom, and time freedom. By achieving all 3 forms of this freedom, you created a life where you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, wherever you want. It's the absolute form of freedom, the type of life you can live where you have 0 limitations, which allows you to once again do whatever you want, work whenever you want, and live absolutely wherever you want. Let me give you some examples. So there are essentially 3 types of businesses. We have the service-based business, physical products business, and digital product business. So a service-based business is essentially you providing a service and you're getting compensated for it. This is attractive for some people because you don't have to spend a ton of money to start. You're basically, once again, trading your hours, trading your service with money. An example of these kind of businesses are SEO agencies, management or recruiting agencies, virtual assistant agencies, all the agency business models. Also, it could be like freelancer type businesses, right? If you are a freelance video editor, designer, ghostwriter, whatever. But here's the problem with a service-based business. The problem is that you are the product, which means if you stop working, you stop getting paid, right? When you get a client, you have to work on it immediately, right? You have to deliver the service immediately. And if you stop working, you stop getting paid. In this business model, you basically sell your time for money. And on top of that, you'll have to do constant sales calls to close a client, constant meetings to ensure your clients that things are going well, a ton of customer service because your clients are going to be complaining. They're going to be like, where's my, results that you promised, right? And the actual delivery of the service. So if you factor in all this, you're not actually working whenever you want to. As an example, I met a lot of service providers living in Bali, but their clients are in the US time zone. So because of the time difference, basically Bali is a complete different time zone to the US. So a lot of people sleep during the day and then they work during the night to accommodate to their US clients, which makes no sense. Like, why are you living in Bali when you literally cannot enjoy the place? So this is exactly what I mean by not having time freedom, is that you don't get to work whenever you want to. So a service-based business often does not give you time freedom. Next one is the physical product-based businesses. And these could be e-commerce, it could be real estate investing too. Real estate is a physical product in a way, right? Could be Amazon FBA. And the main issue with physical product-based businesses is that you have to deal with inventory. If you're doing e-commerce, then the inventory is your products, right? If you're doing real estate, the inventories are your properties. So the problem with physical product-based businesses are that oftentimes you want to ship the products to you to either store the products at your place. Usually people start storing, the products at their home before they expand to warehouses and stuff like that. You also want to check the product yourself before you start selling it. If you're doing real estate investing, you want to go and actually view the property yourself instead of relying on what you see online, like on the MLS, because what you see on the MLS is completely different than what you actually see in person. So you have to go and view the property yourself before you buy. And obviously to manage the property, it's a lot easier if you can drive there and check on it too, which means it makes it super hard hard if you want to travel around and live in different countries. Now, oftentimes you can overcome this by shipping your products directly to a warehouse, like as an example, if you do an Amazon FBA, but that comes with additional fees. And for that reason, starting a physical product-based businesses are usually a lot more expensive compared to other business models. So what if you want to travel? Like, you start making money from your physical product-based businesses, and let's say now you want to start enjoying the money. So you want to start traveling. Like me, I've been living as a digital nomad, moving around different countries every couple months, enjoying the location, seeing the site, trying out different lifestyles, and I'm off to the next place. What happens if you want to do the same thing, right? What if you want to live in Thailand for a couple months just to experience how it is? Or what if you just want to leave the country that you're living in, right? Because maybe you don't agree with the politics or for whatever other reason. Well, this becomes a lot more trickier if you have a physical product-based business, right? Because, sometimes you want to ship the product to you once again, and if you're constantly traveling, that becomes very hard. Or checking out your real estate properties, that becomes hard too. You can hire a property manager, but the more you build your ties in that location, the harder it is for you to move away from that country. So essentially, with physical product-based businesses, you have a lot less location freedom. So based on this, you probably know what's coming next, a business model that fulfills all three forms of freedom, and that is digital product-based businesses. So in my opinion, this business model is way better than other business models because you don't need inventory because everything is digital, right? That also means you have zero shipping and handling. You don't have to deal with that. And because it's all digital products, there's no manufacturing cost, there's no shipping and handling, there's no inventory cost, there's no cost for all of that. So you have higher profit margins, unlike physical products. And since everything is online, you can build it literally anywhere in the world. And all you need is a laptop and a Wi-Fi. Now, there are many digital product-based businesses out there. A lot of people will tell you to create whatever product you want to create, right? And then sell it on your website. But here's the thing, we are going for passive income, right? Which means we need to create a system where our products sell on its own. And it is hardly passive income if you're constantly creating products daily, right? Always running ads to market the product, and trying to get people to your website. And then once you sell the product, right, you still have to do customer service. You got to figure out payment processing, right? You have to go create YouTube videos. You got to, write blog posts, whatever efforts that you're making to constantly sell the product on your website, that is not passive at all. So what we want to do is we want to create a system where we do the work once and that product keeps selling on its own for years. So how do we do this? Well, that is by leveraging the world's biggest websites where millions of people visit every single day, and we let the website sell our products for us. We don't need to chase customers because the customers are already there. All we need to do is figure out how to show up in front of them. So a few examples of these websites, obviously we have YouTube, we got something like Etsy, and also Amazon. So based on this, the three digital product-based businesses that are often easier for beginners to start is number one, YouTube content creation, where your videos are the products, right? And you upload to YouTube, and YouTube will recommend your videos, so you don't have to go and find people. YouTube will find the viewers for you, right? Or Etsy print on demand, where you create little, digital products, you upload to Etsy, and Etsy does the same thing. And the third is Amazon KDP. This stands for Kindle Direct Publishing, where you basically sell books on Amazon, but you don't even have to create the book because you just upload the PDF file of the book and Amazon will print it and ship it for you if it's a paperback copy that you sold, or you can sell it as an ebook or audiobook, which is a digital product. Now, the best part about all three of these businesses is that you can get started with very low cost by creating the products yourself, or you can outsource the product creation to a professional for a very low cost. But the big question is, which one is best? First, let's talk about YouTube. YouTube is absolutely amazing. I love YouTube. That's why I'm making, YouTube videos like this. But the biggest thing you have to understand is the YouTube algorithm basically always rewards new videos. It makes sense, right? Viewers always want new content. So new content are rewarded heavily in the algorithm, which means every single video you post almost always dies off, which means you constantly have to create new content. And that is why so many YouTubers are in this thing called the YouTube content treadmill, right? Basically pumping out content just to keep up. Because if they stop making videos, their income drops significantly. So it's definitely not do the work once and get paid forever. So it comes down to Etsy Print on Demand and Amazon KDP. Well, both businesses are very similar in terms of how it works, right? You just upload a simple digital product on these websites and the website will show it to more people. Obviously, you want to do a little bit of marketing yourself, but essentially you can tap into millions of shoppers going to these sites, okay? So the business model is very similar. The skills required to start is also very similar. And it's also similar in a way that it can be pretty passive once you set it up. And they both operate on print on demand models, which means it's a digital product, but you can also sell it as a physical product. Once again, with Amazon KDP example, only after people buy your book, Amazon will print it as a book and ship it over, which means you have zero inventory. And so you're selling physical products, but it's essentially operating as a digital product based model. So there are a few major differences that make one out of these two options a clear winner. And it is why Amazon KDP is the best work from home online business for beginners, in my opinion. The first one is traffic volume. So according to online statistics, Etsy got 412 million visits in January 2025. Compared to that, Amazon got over 3.28 billion visits in that same month, which is basically 8 times the amount of Etsy. So if you're basically doing the same amount of work, right? Why not sell it on a site that has 8 times more customers? The next difference is customer service. So if you sell on Etsy, you have to constantly deal with customer messages. So customers often message you before they buy the product, and you are responsible to answer those questions. You are responsible to do customer service. And if you actually do not do this, Etsy will penalize you. Compared to that, with Amazon KDP, we literally do zero customer service. I've been doing this business for years, and I've never received a single customer service email because Amazon handles everything for me. Third is platform fees. So with Etsy, every time you upload products, you actually have to pay listing fees. And these listing fees adds up. Compared to that, with Amazon KDP, it is zero listing fees, no sign-up fees, no monthly fees, nothing. Okay, so you can upload as many products as you want, and it's gonna be completely free. And the fourth reason is competition. So lately, I've been seeing a lot of how to make money selling on Etsy videos blowing up on YouTube, and it seems a lot of people are jumping into this business model, right? So you have increased competition. Compared to that, with Amazon KDP, it's been relatively unknown. Like there are a couple people talking about it. Obviously, I talk about it on my channel, but besides that, you don't really hear much about it. So the bottom line is the business model is similar. So if you're doing the same type of work, would you rather sell on a website that is 8 times smaller, but with more competition and also more fees and more work? Or a site that is 8 times bigger with less competition and less work? And that is exactly why I'm doing Amazon KDP. This is the business model that allowed me to achieve complete freedom, where I went from a broke kid in my early 20s, had zero skills, zero success in previous businesses. I've failed for 4 straight years in other business models until I stumbled across Amazon KDP and I started having success. I didn't speak proper English because English is my second language. And despite that, I was able to make 10K per month after 10 months of starting. I built a multiple 6-figure a year business, which I ran for multiple years, and I ended up selling it for $820,000, which you can see this is the actual bill of sale of $820K for my first account. And now I built a second account that's also doing 6 figures a year. And I've documented that journey over many, many years of building my own KDP businesses in this playlist called KDP Income Reports, where every single month I do my income report of how much I made and my commentary on it, which if you guys want to check it out, you can just look up Sean DeWitt KDP Income Report playlist. I'm even going to leave a link to that in the description. And if you don't believe anything I say, you can watch one of my videos here that says what is possible with Amazon KDP, where I literally show you my actual tax return, where I made over $1 million in profit in a single year. And thanks to this business, like I said earlier, the past couple years, I've been traveling the world. That is why every few videos, my background changes on my YouTube channel, right? Like if you watch all my past videos, every 3 videos, the background changes. That is because I'm filming, these videos from all over the world. So this business model can give you complete freedom because there's no cap on how much you can make. I made a lot of money with this, but my students are also making a lot of money. Many of them are doing 10, 20, 30, 50K a month. Some of them did over $100,000 in a single month. There's no rules on when you have to work because there's absolutely no client meetings, no customer service emails to urgently respond to. There's no location-based restrictions because Amazon KDP is open in almost every single country. So it is a business model that truly fulfills the freedom criteria because you can achieve financial freedom. You can work whenever you want. You can work wherever you want. You don't even have to show your face. All of my books are under a pen name. So you can use your real name to publish these books, or you can just use a pen name, which is a very, very common practice. Like J.K. Rowling from the Harry Potter series, that's a pen name. So you don't even have to show your face, and you can protect your privacy while you can make money online. On top of all this, unlike YouTube where new content is always pushed, Amazon actually rewards older books that has been established for a long time. So the longer your book sells on Amazon, the better it often performs. So this is why there's no need to keep churning out new content. You want to make sure you put out good books that gets good reviews, right? And as it gets more sales, because the book is good, it's going to start organically collecting more and more reviews, which means it's going to boost sales even more. And those sales will turn into more reviews, and more reviews means more sales, and Amazon's going to keep pushing it. And it's this snowball effect that compounds without you doing much. And on top of all that, just like physical real estate, your Amazon KDP business is a legitimate asset that you can sell. So once again, I sold my first account for $820,000. I have many students who also sold their accounts for 6 figures. Some people even sell it for 7 figures, right? So in my opinion, this is huge because a lot of businesses you can't really sell. Like if I try to sell my YouTube channel, I cannot, because this YouTube channel is attached to my face. No one can buy it because once somebody else starts making videos under my name, like no one's gonna watch it, right? But with Amazon KDP, you can do that. So you might be watching this and thinking, but Sean, I can always hire someone to do my service-based business. I can always hire a property manager for real estate, right? I can always hire a virtual assistant to handle my physical product businesses. And yes, that is true. There's always a workaround. But you have to understand that if you work with more people, that'll automatically lead to more headaches. Because when dealing with people, something will always come up that requires your attention, right? You're gonna always be managing your team. Your team member is now doing the work, so technically you're not doing the work yourself, but you have new work, which is managing your team members, okay? They will always ask you for input. They're always gonna be doing something. Sometimes they do well for a while and then they slack off for whatever reason. It happens all the time, okay? I have personal experience many times. So you never can be 100% truly passive. Something in your business will always be breaking, no matter how much you outsource or systematize things. And trust me on this, I went hard on outsourcing and systematizing, and I can tell you from experience that you never can truly be free. It's crazy how often things break. That is why if you want a beginner-friendly business that is as close to passive income as possible, then you want a business that has the least moving parts from the very beginning. And that is why I say Amazon KDP is the most passive thing that I've ever found, because Amazon handles so many of the things that you normally have to do for you. And you might be thinking, but Sean, I'm not a writer. How do I do this? Well, don't worry, because I'm not a writer as well. I'm actually from Japan and English is my second language, yet I've done very well with this. So there are many ways to create these books. Even if you're not a professional writer, you can obviously hire other people. You can obviously create books that are very easy to create, even if you have, basic writing skills. So many angles that you can go with this. But if this video was interesting and you're interested in learning more about this business model, then there are a couple options for you to move forward. The first option is I do have a complete step-by-step tutorial for beginners to get started with Amazon KDP. So I'll leave a link to this video in the description for you to check it out. The other option is if you're serious about going all in with this business model and you're like, I want to replace my 9-to-5, or I want to, make a full-time income with Amazon KDP, and I want coaching and mentorship for that, then I do have my complete Amazon KDP program. It is the first link in the description. So if you click on the first link, it's going to take you to this page. You can scroll down, read some testimonials of our actual students. These are real students, real results, right? And you can see what's included in the program, the bonuses that you get. But essentially, it's not just a course. It's a course plus a one-on-one coaching hybrid offer. So we have a lot of hands-on coaching aspect where we check your books to make sure that it's good before you actually publish it. And we found that that is the best way to ensure that you have the highest chance of success. So there's absolutely no pressure in joining this. If you want to just get started and watch my free YouTube videos, that's completely fine. Because once again, this is a coaching offer. I don't want to work with people who's not all in, right? So that's why we don't hard sell you on this, because if we hard sell you and your head's thin and you come into our program with the wrong mindset or wrong expectation, then it's going to be a lot harder for us to work with you. And we don't enjoy working with that kind of client anyways. So we got to be on the same page. And that is exactly why you have to apply for a free call first, and on that call we talk to you, and only after we determine this is a good fit for you, then you can choose to join or not. Just a quick disclaimer is that we don't work with those looking for a get rich quick scheme, because this is not a get rich quick scheme. It's a legit business, and a legit business takes time. We don't work with rude or entitled people, and we do not work with you if we genuinely don't think we can help. So after doing the free call with you, if we feel like we cannot help you, we will straight up tell you. So if you want to do the free call, then you can apply from the first link in the description, as well as all the tools and resources that I mentioned in this video. But hopefully you found this video to be valuable. Hopefully you see that it's not just financial freedom that is important. Usually true happiness comes from, having time freedom and location freedom. Those freedom is actually more important than just financial freedom. And oftentimes only after you achieve that, you realize how incredible it is, right? Literally waking up to having no plans. Like you can do whatever you want. You don't have to work, or work if you want to. And I still work because I enjoy it. Because, how long can I sip coconuts by the beach before I get bored, right? I'm 30 right now. So like, am I gonna just chill by the beach for the next 70 years? No, I'm not gonna do that, right? So, I still make these videos because I enjoy working. But the big difference is I don't have to do it. I don't have to do anything at this point, right? And I think that's the main thing, is working is good, but only if you're truly passionate about it. So having that passive income source, having that freedom allows you to now take the time to work on whatever you truly want to do with your life. And I think that should be the goal for everyone. So with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, comment any questions you have. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.